Finally, you are going to be able to understand fast native English speakers. When we speak quickly, it's difficult, but not anymore. 9 methods that will help you master it. Are you ready? Well then, let's jump right in. Method number 1, the mirror method. Speak while you listen. You want to listen to native speakers and repeat simultaneously, trying to match their rhythm, intonation, and speed without focusing on perfect pronunciation. This is the key. Don't focus on perfecting the pronunciation. Focus on the 3 things: rhythm, intonation, and speed. Remember, helping you finally understand fast English. Now, there are 3 reasons why this method is so important. Reason number 1, your brain learns to think at the same speed as native speakers. So while I'm teaching you this lesson, my friend, if you are repeating after me, you're not pausing to try to understand everything. You're just saying everything I'm saying, trying to follow my rhythm, my intonation, and my speed. This is telling your brain, hey, this is how fast we need to speak when we're speaking English. Reason number 2, why this method is so important. You get used to the natural rhythm and music of English. I love music. I love the rhythm, right? So you can start learning the rhythm of English as you're listening and repeating at the same time. And reason number 3, you start to guess what words come next, just like native speakers do. When I, your teacher Tiffani, when I am having a conversation with a friend, because English is my native language and I've practiced this over and over again, I can kind of anticipate what my friend is about to say next. You are going to develop this skill. This is all about improving your listening. So you're not worried or stressed about every single word coming out of the person's mouth because you're thinking, I know what's next. I know what's next. You will be less stressed. Now, how can you put this first method number 1, the mirror method, into practice? Here's the practical application. I want you to do this. Choose a 2 to 3 minute segment from a podcast or an interview. Remember, it needs to be a podcast or an interview where 2 native English speakers are having a conversation. Play it and speak along. It's going to feel weird at first. I'm telling you, it's going to feel weird. But play it and just try to speak with them. As they're saying it, say it immediately right after them. Even if you miss words, listen, my friend, even if you miss words, just keep doing it. Focus on matching the speaker's pace and melody rather than perfect accuracy. Remember, rhythm and intonation. Try to follow the rhythm, the pace. You're actually training your brain. You're actually improving your listening and your speaking as an extra bonus. So, method number 1 is the mirror method. Speak while you listen. Method number 2. Method number 2 is the accent adventure. We just stopped right in our last one and said, don't focus on the pronunciation. But for this one, now it's accent adventure. Travel the world through sound. I like these titles. So systematically expose yourself to different English accents, Australian, Irish, Indian, South African, while noting their unique characteristics. This one is very important because I've had so many conversations with English learners just like you, and they've said, Tiff, I understand you. Tiff, I understand your pronunciation, your accent. However, when I speak to someone or watch a video of someone from the UK or from South Africa or from insert another English-speaking country, right, where English is one of their languages, the student will say, I don't understand. What's happening is your ears have become accustomed to my accent. And I'm happy you understand me, but you have to realize many different countries use English as their main language. So it's important for you to understand the different accents. And my friend, honestly, listen, even in America, if you go to the deep South, they will not sound like me. If you go way up north, Boston, Massachusetts, or even higher, they don't sound like me. There are many different accents even in America. So in order for you to improve your listening skills, understanding fast English, you have to expose yourself to many different accents. You'll be less stressed, less frustrated. Here are 3 main reasons why this is so important. Reason number 1, you won't panic when you meet someone with a new accent. You don't want to be in a situation where, oh my goodness, you don't sound like Teacher Tiffani. What do I do? No, my friend, you want to feel, hey, this person has a different accent from Teacher Tiffani, but I understand it. You want to be confident, so you won't panic. Again, this is why this method is so important. Reason number 2, your ear becomes flexible and adapts quickly to different sounds. For me as an English teacher, my friend, listen, I have spoken to many different people from around the world. I have spoken to individuals whose English is amazing. They have a stronger or thicker accent, but I can quickly switch and understand what they're saying. Where even when I have other friends who are native English speakers, they'll hear the exact same person and they say, Tiff, what are they saying? I understand it completely. Why? My ear has also been trained. I've exposed myself, whether it be my students, whether it be traveling. I can understand, I can decipher, this is what they're saying. I can hear certain words because I've exposed myself to different accents. This is why I'm saying you, my friend, need to expose your ears to different accents. Number 3, the third reason is you realize all accents follow patterns you can learn. Even me, I have a certain pattern. I speak at a certain cadence, a certain rhythm. When I'm telling you a story, again, don't miss the story at the end. I have a certain pattern, a certain cadence when I get excited, when I'm getting more serious, when I want to emphasize a point. I personally have a certain speed, cadence, and rhythm. You'll start recognizing these rhythms when you listen to other people that have different accents. So how can you practically apply this second method? Here's the practical application. I want you to do this. I want you to choose 1 accent per week. Listen, I hope you're taking notes. I want you to understand this is going to transform your English, your listening comprehension. Choose 1 accent per week. Watch 3 to 4 videos from speakers with that accent. For example, maybe it's our Indian brothers and sisters. It's again him speaking English amazingly, right? Or maybe you want to hear someone with a British accent. Or maybe you want to hear someone who lives in New York. Find a YouTube video, New Yorkers talking about their life experience. They sound different, right? Pick 1 accent per week, watch 3 to 4 videos. And these can be enjoyable videos. They don't have to be videos about English. You just need to watch videos where people are speaking English using that accent. Then I want you to notice specific vowel sounds. How do they pronounce certain words? One of my friends, one of my closest friends, and she's watching, hey girl, she actually grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. So every once in a while when we're talking, a word will come out or her accent will come out from Boston. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's no problem. Why? I understand. It's not like it's too thick to understand, but it's just interesting. I've recognized certain words, or if she's really comfortable, certain things will come out, different accents. So as you're watching these videos or listening to a clip, make sure you recognize those vowel sounds, those rhythm patterns, or unique expressions, and then keep an accent journal. Again, I say this all the time. I love journals. Behind me, you see right here, these are just some of the journals I have. I have tons of journals in my office, in the closet of my office. Why? Because it's so important to write things down. My friend, you're intelligent. Take notes. Realize, recognize what you're hearing. So again, method 2, the accent adventure. Travel the world through sound. Learn about different accents. Method number 3, the detective game. Fill in the missing pieces. I love it. I love it. All right. Fill in the missing pieces. Now, this is what I want you to do. Remember, practice listening to content where some words are unclear, using context clues and logical reasoning to fill gaps in understanding. There are going to be times when you're listening to something or watching something and you miss what was said, or you're not really sure what that word was. Guess. Again, fill in the missing pieces. Here's the thing. Why is this so important? Reason number 1, you stay calm when you don't catch every single word. If you're practicing this over and over again, when you get to real conversations, you won't panic. You won't get frustrated. I missed a word. No, you've been practicing this. I missed a word, but let me see. Maybe he was saying this, or maybe she was saying this. You won't panic. Reason number two. Reason number two why this is such an important method. You learn to keep following the conversation even with missing pieces. Okay, I missed that, but I don't want to stop the conversation. I'll keep listening and I'll start filling in the missing pieces. Ah, yes, that's what she was saying. This is an important skill. And reason number three, you use your brain like a detective to solve the meaning puzzle. Hey, there's a puzzle here. Let your brain get active. Okay, wait a minute. I'm listening. Okay, what? Aha, that's what she was saying. Aha, that's what he was saying. This is a very powerful method. Now, how can you apply this practically in real life? This is what I want you to do. I want you to listen to news interviews with background noise or poor audio quality. In other words, turn on your TV or even use your phone, or maybe you have your computer. And I want you to find a news interview. Then I want you to turn on background music. It's gonna feel weird at first. Turn on background music, right? That's not connected to the interview. Turn on noise, maybe a fan. Have lots of noise going on behind you, right? Focus on understanding the main points even when you're missing 10 to 15% of the words. Think about it. You have this interview on in front of you, but one of your favorite songs is playing in the background. So you're watching the interview, then, oh shoot, I missed a word. Keep watching. Try to fill in the blank. Maybe the fan gets a little louder. Maybe the car outside honking a horn. There's so much going on behind you, so you're gonna have to focus a little harder and you're going to miss things. Remember, it's all about filling in the missing pieces. You're training yourself. You're helping yourself what? Understand fast English. Method number 4. The speed challenge. Training your ears like an athlete. Now, I was an athlete my entire grade school, high school, college. I played sports. I was voted the most athletic female out of everyone at my college, all the females. So I was an athlete, right? So I like this title, Training Your Ears Like an Athlete. As an athlete, we had to train a lot. So listen to the same content at different speeds. 0.75, normal, 1.25, 1.5. This builds flexibility in processing speed. So the point is to help your ear hear at a regular speed, then a faster speed, and a faster and a faster and a faster speed. Now, why is this so important? Why is this so powerful, and why is it going to help you so much? Reason number 1, fast speakers will not scare you anymore. If you've been practicing, listening to the same thing over and over again at different speeds, increasing the speed each time, when you meet someone and they say, hey, my name is Samantha, how are you? Nice to meet you. You won't be overwhelmed. Why? You've been training your ears at different speeds. Reason number 2, normal speed will feel easy after practicing with faster speech. If you're practicing with 2 times regular speed, when you go back to the regular speed, you're like, oh, this is easy. I understand everything. And reason number 3, you become confident that you can understand any speaking speed. I emphasize this all the time. You are intelligent. You are smart. You need to believe it yourself. Confidence is going to transform your English journey. When you feel confident, you'll be able to do anything. This method is going to help build confidence in your ability to hear, to listen, even when someone is speaking fast. So, practical application, how can you do this? Use YouTube's playback speed feature. When you open YouTube on your phone, there's going to be a way for you to change the speed. So, start with interesting content, something you actually like. If you're interested in sports, watch a video about sports. If you're interested in art, watch a video about art. But start the content at 1.25 speed for a week, right? Just 1.25. Normal is 1. Increase it just to 1.25 for a week. Watch the content at a little bit of a faster speed for a week. Then return to the normal speed. You are going to be amazed. It's going to blow your mind how clear everything sounds. Wait a minute. I'm catching more words than normal because you've trained your ear. Hey, I've listened to it at a faster speed. Now it's slowing down and I'm catching everything. This is how you put it into practice. Now, method number 5, oh my goodness. Method number 5 is another good one, but I want to remind you, every time we have a lesson, I am excited to teach you. But this is only once a week. If you want to study with me on a regular basis, I want you to enroll in my course, the 365-day English study plan. Every day of the year, I have a lesson prepared for you to help you achieve your English goals. Go to speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365plan. Again, speakenglishwithtiffani.com/365plan. Each day of the year, I have organized a lesson for you, my friend, to help you go from the intermediate to the advanced English level. So if you want to keep studying with me, you can enroll in my program right now. The link is in the description. So let's now move to method number 5. Method number 5, the mind reader. Predict what comes next. Train yourself to anticipate what speakers will say next based on context, topic, and conversation patterns. This is such a great skill for you to develop. It's funny because guys will say this about women. How do you guys know what you're thinking? How can you read each other's minds? And it's interesting. There are many times we as women, we can know what each other we're thinking. If it's a group of women that have been friends for a long time, we know what we're thinking, right? So, my friend, even if you're a guy, it's okay. This is a skill you're learning now to help you on your English journey. So don't skip this one. It's still good. Here we go. All right. Why is this such an important method? Reason number 1. You stay ahead of the speaker instead of always trying to catch up, right? You're just trying to anticipate, right? To give you more of a kind of relief, not being so stressed like, I missed something. Nope. You're trying to anticipate. Okay, they're going to say this probably. Reason number 2, your brain gets ready for the words before you hear them. Your brain gets ready for the words before you hear them. And third, you feel more confident because you can guess what's coming. You can guess what's coming. I almost said confident. You can guess what's coming next. This is a very important skill. Now, how do you put this into practice? How do you anticipate what's about to be said? Here's the practical application. While watching interviews, pause every 30 seconds. Now, you don't just have to watch interviews. You can pick any videos on YouTube you'd like. YouTube because it's free, right? Make sure native English speakers are the ones speaking on the videos or in the videos. But pause every 30 seconds and predict what the speaker will say next. Make it like a game. Find an interesting video, interesting interview. Every 30 seconds, pause. Try to just guess. What is he going to say next? What is she going to say next? Make it a game. Notice when you're right and analyze the clues that helped you predict accurately. Every 30 seconds, I think she's going to talk about maybe the whales. Next start, she talks about the whales. How did I know that? What did she say in that first 30 seconds that caused me to assume or predict that she's going to talk about whales again? Again, this can be like a game, but it's going to help you. What is our goal? Understand fast English speakers. Method number 6. Method number 6 is the real world challenge. Listen in chaos. This is similar to our previous method. We talked about music in the background. So practice listening to English content in environments with distractions or competing audio. This is very similar to what we talked about earlier, right? When you're missing certain parts because there's a lot of noise behind you. So why is this one so important? All right. Again, we focused before on missing certain things. Here's reason number 1. You prepare for real situations, like noisy restaurants or busy streets when there's a lot of noise going on. So just like I said earlier, turn on that radio behind you or turn on your fan. Have a lot of noise going on. Why? Because in real life, there are going to be things going on around you that will inhibit you from understanding what the person might be saying. Reason number 2. You learn to focus on important sounds and ignore distractions. Man, this happens to me. So sometimes I'm in my office right now. I am in my office right now. I'm leaving this in the video. I'm in my office right now and I'm able to focus. There are not too many sounds around me, but there are moments when I decide to work at a coffee shop. I love working at Starbucks. And that means there's a lot of noise. Door opening, ding! Someone's placing their order, tick, 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 tack, 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 tack on the register. People are making the coffee or the frappuccinos, and I'm hearing shh with the sounds of the machines. Someone's sitting next to me also working. They're on a call, in a meeting, they're talking. Young people are walking in after school and they're talking. A lot of noise. In these moments, I have to focus and block out the noise and focus on what I'm doing. This is what we're talking about. You need to learn this skill. Focusing in, honing in on what you want to actually hear. Reason number 3. Quiet environments will feel super easy after this training. After this training, now when you go to a quiet environment, you're like, oh man, if I can focus in a loud environment, in a quiet environment, I am totally okay. How can you put this into practice? Practical application, here we go. Play English podcasts while doing household chores or with soft background music. So you're vacuuming in your living room, you have a podcast playing, you have music playing. Again, it might seem a little bit noisy at first, but remember, there is a method to the madness. There's a reason you're doing this. You're trying to train your ears to focus. Gradually increase the competing noise level while maintaining comprehension. Can you still hear what's being said on that podcast? Now, I'm not gonna lie. That vacuum is gonna inhibit you from understanding. So let's kick the vacuum out. Maybe you're wiping off the table, or maybe you're cleaning the kitchen, washing the dishes. But you want to gradually increase the noise to train your ears. Hey, we need to focus even when there is a lot of noise. Method number 7. Method number 7. And I want you in the comment section to write which method is your favorite once we get to the end, all right? Method number 7, the phrase hunter. Think in groups, not single words. Oh, I love this method. Think in groups, not single words. When I was studying Korean, this method changed the game. It helped me so much not to look at single words. So focus on recognizing meaningful phrase units rather than individual words in fast speech. When you're listening to someone, and I did this too, trust me, I understand, my friend. When I was learning Korean, I struggled because when we would have an exam, I would be listening, like for the listening comprehension, I would try to recognize each individual word and I'd miss so much. But this method changed the game. Listening for phrase units rather than individual words. So why is this so powerful? Why is this so important? Reason number 1, you stop trying to catch every tiny word and focus on the meaning. Focusing on the meaning. Reason number 2, you process English the same way native speakers do. When I'm speaking with my friends, I'm not listening to every single word. Like, I'm looking at the phrase as a whole. I hear every word because I've trained my ears, but what is the main context? What is the main thought? And reason number 3, fast speech becomes easier because you hear bigger pieces of meaning. Man, context is so important. So how can you put this into practice? Practical application, my friend. Here we go. Practical application. Listen to TED Talks. TED Talks are available on YouTube for free. Find a TED Talk and identify complete phrase chunks, like on the other hand is an example of a phrase chunk. You don't need to listen to each individual word, on the other hand. No, learn the phrase chunk, on the other hand, or as a matter of fact, or from my perspective. These are phrase chunks that you listen for. Practice hearing these as single units, not as individual words. On the other hand, I said multiple words, but you recognize the unit. This is how you do it. So find a TED Talk, and as you're listening to and watching the TED Talk, look out. Be on the lookout for hearing those phrase chunks and write them down in your notebook. All right, here we go. Method number 8. I love this one. The culture key. Unlock hidden meanings. Study cultural knowledge, idioms, and references that native speakers assume their listeners know. I realized how many idioms we as native English speakers use when I went to Korea. Speaking every single day, I don't have to stop and say, this is an idiom. Icing on the cake or a piece of cake. I don't have to say that to a native English speaker. But when I went to Korea and I was teaching students there, I realized, oh my goodness, we native English speakers use idioms all the time. This is why this method is so important. Study the idioms, study the references that native English speakers make all the time so that when someone is speaking fast, you don't have to pause and say, what is that? You already know it. You're already familiar with it. Here are 3 reasons why this method is so important. Reason number 1, you understand jokes, references, and cultural meanings that textbooks don't teach. Man, when I was in South Korea learning Korean, I had the classroom Korean, and then I had the real world Korean that I learned from my friends. I started understanding the jokes that weren't coming out in the books. I started understanding the colloquial terms, the idioms that my friends were using because I was learning in real life. So when I would go back and watch a television program and they would use the same idioms my friends used, I wasn't confused. They were speaking very fast, but I knew that phrasal chunk, like our last method. Reason number 2, conversations make more sense because you know what people are really talking about. When you study the cultural references, study the idioms, now you realize, oh, they're not talking about cake when they say a piece of cake. They're just saying it's easy. I studied that idiom. I studied that expression. I know what it means now. I can follow the conversation. Reason number 3, you feel like an insider who gets the full message. Remember, we're talking about understanding real English, fast English. Now you feel like an insider. Oh, I understand exactly what they're talking about because I know the idioms, I know the colloquial terms, I know the cultural references. How can you apply this practically? Practical application for method number 8. Watch comedy shows or talk shows and research any cultural references, any idioms that are mentioned, any allusions you don't understand. Build a cultural knowledge database. Baby, get you a notebook specifically for the cultural references. Watching this TV show, watching this comedy show. Why did he say knock your socks off? Why did she say, for example, in the African American community, we say when the food is delicious, man, you put your foot in this food. If you were watching a comedy show, if you were listening to something and an African American said she put her foot in that food, you would be confused. Why? She put her foot, isn't that dirty? Like what? But when you research it, and I just mentioned it to you briefly just now, it actually means the food is amazing. It's delicious. So now you write down, okay, put your foot in it. That means it's something good. It's something delicious. Immediately the next time you hear an African American speaking, maybe a comedy show, maybe a conversation, you won't be lost. You'll get it. Practical application again, watch shows and then write down when you hear something that's a cultural reference or an idiom. Method number 9. Method number 9 is the emotion reader. Listen with your heart, not just your head. And I'll be honest, I like teaching this because I feel as an individual, I read emotions well. And my friends have told me this, even people that work for me, they've told me, they're like, Tiff, you really read us well. So you're learning to identify speakers' emotions, attitudes, and intentions through intonation, pace, vocal quality, rather than just words. For example, I'm going to say the same thing twice. And I want you, even if you're listening to this lesson as opposed to watching it, you'll be able to hear the difference. I'm going to say, I really like this food. All right, here we go. I really like this food. That's the first one. Versus, I really like this food. Which one sounds more passionate? Which one seemed more true or more real? I really like this food. You watched my body language. You heard my intonation. You heard the pace. I slowed down. I really like this food. Oh, she really, that's her favorite food. Again, intonation, speed, pace, all are important. Again, the emotion reader. So why is this so important? Why is this going to help you with fast English? Reason number 1, you understand what people really mean, not just what they say. What are they really meaning? They're not just using the words, there's something that's behind the word. Reason number 2, voice tone gives you extra clues when words are unclear. I didn't catch exactly what she was saying, but her body language, the way she said it, I kind of think I can guess what she meant. And reason number three. Reason number three is you respond better in conversations because you feel the speaker's mood. Okay, she's really happy right now, so I can respond this way. Or she seems a bit stressed. She seems a bit frustrated, so let me be careful with the way I speak to her. This is why it's so important to read a person's emotions. So how do you do this? Here's the practical application. Watch dramatic scenes from movies with subtitles off. I want you to watch the scenes, dramatic scenes now. Turn the subtitles off and just watch their emotions, watch their body language. Focus solely on vocal tone to determine if the speaker is angry, being sarcastic, excited, or disappointed, then verify with subtitles. Watch it. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, her brow is furrowed. Okay, no, now she's smiling. Now her shoulders are back. Okay, watch their body language. Try to guess and then turn the subtitles back on to verify if you were correct. This is how you improve your listening comprehension, how you can start understanding fast English. Listen, I hope you understood and I hope you enjoyed this lesson as much as I did. Remember, if you want to keep studying with me, don't forget to enroll in my course, a full 365 days, a lesson each day. Go to speakenglishwiththiffany.com/365 plan, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson. Do, 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 do. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, hey, hey. I said it's story time. All right. I like telling this story. It's a shorter story today, but for our lesson today, I mentioned one of the methods was about the culture, right? Understanding the culture. And this one is about culture. So I spent 10 years in South Korea and I loved teaching English, which is why I'm still teaching English now to you. But the students, so part of Korean culture is spending time together outside of the classroom. And I remember my students would say, Tiff, can we go out to eat together? And I would oblige. I'd say, yeah, let's go out to eat together. And we would go to a restaurant, and I'm vegetarian. I'm actually vegan, right? So I don't eat eggs or cheese, dairy products. So I had a very special diet, and my students were totally okay with that. We'd find a restaurant that had food that I could eat. And at that time, I wasn't vegan because it's hard to be vegan in Korea. Eggs are in everything. So I was fine. I ate eggs then. But I didn't do cheese because I have an allergy. And so we would go to the restaurants and they would say, Tiffany, what do you want? Like, teacher, what do you want? And I'd order my food. And then they would order food, but I noticed it was like communal eating, right? So let's say there were 10 of us together. I would order my plate and then the 9 other individuals would order about, let's say 6 different dishes and they would share them. And everything was fine. But again, I was reading the room, I was watching, and they said, hey, teacher, we know you're American, and we know that in American culture, you guys, eat your own, like you eat separate, right? You have your own plate. And I was like, yeah, again, being American, that was my reality. It was normal to me. When you live in another country, when you are exposed to a different culture, you start paying attention to the differences and the similarities. This was one of the differences. And so we would go out to eat, right? And they'd ask me to go out to eat a lot. And I would say, yeah, let's go. But over time, I started noticing, wait a minute, they're not saying anything, but there is still a separation because I'm eating my plate of food. They're eating their food. And it was still like this kind of separation. So I remember I decided to change it up. So one day we went out to eat and they were like, Tiff, what do you want? I said, I'll eat whatever you guys order. I said, hey, I'm vegetarian. That's the only thing. But if you guys order chicken, I'll just take the sauce, and I'll just have the rice. And they kind of looked at me like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. I said, okay. So they ordered the food, and it still was kind of shocking to them because normally Americans, again, it's our culture. We just have our own plate. And so I was eating with them, and I noticed an immediate change. It wasn't said. It really was more in their body language. It was as if I had entered their world fully. It was as if I had accepted their culture fully. I was American and I'm still American, but I was accepting every aspect of their food culture. Like, hey, if this is how you do it in Korea, I want to do it like you do it. I accept your culture. I love your culture. And I noticed that they started opening up to me more. Started doing the same thing with my Korean friends. When we would go out to eat, instead of it being I'd order something separate, I would say, hey, what are we eating? And I got even closer to my Korean friends. Again, things that I would not have done in America, like eating off the same plate, using the same utensils, was normal in Korea. Again, culture. And I started adapting. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I learned so much about my friends and about my students when I completely accepted who they were and I entered their world. For you as an English learner, my friend, you want to speak English fluently. It's not about letting go of your culture. I'm still American. When I go to Korea, Korea is now my second home. It's all about accepting parts of American culture. You're learning American English because I'm American and I'm your teacher. Figure out what parts of American culture are intriguing to you and adapt. Accept them. See which ones you can kind of integrate into your life, and it will actually help you understand Americans more and help you improve your English more. My Korean improved the more I accepted aspects of Korean culture. I hope this story helped you, and I hope you enjoy the lesson. I'll talk to you next time.